As millions of people are celebrating Juneteenth, many do not know how Juneteenth came about. First, we have to start with the Emancipation Proclamation. Abraham Lincoln made it a law that all slaves should be set free. But we're not free. All slaves were to be set free in January of 1863. But it wasn't until June 19, 1865, 2 years later, that the word reached the slaves in Texas. Reverend C. Anderson Davis is the one that made Juneteenth into what it is today. Reverend Davis moved to Houston, Texas in 1969 for the sole purpose of reorganizing the NAACP. Reverend Davis strove to ensure equal access and equal protection under the law for all people. Later, in 1973, he reorganized the National Emancipation Association, and thus Juneteenth had new life and its celebration began. I had the honor of meeting Reverend Davis. I think I was around about 14 or 15. This was like in 1975. They have this park in Houston named Miller Outdoor Theater, and its nickname is Hippie Hill. We used to go there a lot, me and my friends. But this one time in the summer, we went to the park, and I noticed that they were playing a lot of music at Hippie Hill. And I saw they had Clifton Chenier and a whole lot of other famous entertainers there. And I'm like, man, what's going on? They said, oh, we're having a Juneteenth celebration. And it was good. Reverend Davis had convinced a lot of top name entertainers to give a free performance for people that were not able to go and see them, when they went to these places where they had to pay to see them. So I kept up with the Juneteenth celebrations after that. So a few years later, they had this saxophonist there. His name was Arnett Cobb. So I was trying to meet Arnett Cobb, and I was backstage. While I was backstage, I hear some people talking, some white people. And they were saying, you mean to tell me these guys are performing for free? I don't have to tell you what happened next. Now if you want to go to these venues, you have to pay for it, which was against the founder of Juneteenth. That's what it wasn't all about with him. So after they started moving the Juneteenth celebrations to these places where you had to pay to get in, it died. It died down a lot. People were not celebrating Juneteenth anymore. Since the day I saw those white people backstage plotting to kill Juneteenth, I realized when black people start anything, do not let white people get involved at all. Now, if you want to buy a ticket and come and see it, that's cool. But you're talking about getting involved in it? No way. Do you remember this guy named Famous Amos? When Famous Amos came out with his Famous Amos cookies, you had to go to Saks Fifth Avenue to get his cookies. They weren't cheap, but they were good. They bought this man out. Now you can go to the store and get his cookies 2 for $1, like in a pack. And the cookies are hard and terrible. They ruin the brand, which is their intention. That's their intention, is to ruin whatever black people are doing. That's why I don't like white people getting involved in anything that black people do. They say they come to help, but they come to destroy. Now, for those out there that want to sound racist for making that statement, prove me wrong. Tell me one thing that a black man started that a white man claimed to help him out with that is still in existence today. So when they read news that talks about Juneteenth, I knew that they were getting ready to commercialize Juneteenth, make money off of it, make it where everybody can get paid, when it's not about everybody. I've been seeing black immigrants speaking on about Juneteenth. It's not about black immigrants. Because immigrants weren't slaves, you were immigrants. Let some white person tell you it's about everybody getting along, when that's furthest from the truth. Because people weren't getting along then, and people weren't getting along now. Remember, they held slaves for an extra 2 years. And I used to be really excited when I was young about Juneteenth, but I'm not so excited about it now. Especially when I see that they are trying to commercialize it, make money off of it, want to make it a national holiday where everybody can get off. When that's what Juneteenth is not about. You have some black people that say Juneteenth is about freedom. And you call this free? Free people have to beg for police protection or police reform. Free people don't do that. Free people don't have to worry about economics, poverty, miseducation. Those are not things that free people worry about. But a slave, yes. So I used to celebrate Juneteenth, but I don't celebrate it anymore because I realize, what is there to celebrate? We are supposed to celebrate that blacks in Texas were held captives for an extra 2 years, and we haven't been compensated for that. America owes a debt to the descendants of black slaves. And I must add that there is interest attached to that. And you have black people today that are asking and begging. Slaves ask and beg. Free people demand. Black people ask and beg for equal justice. We don't demand for equal justice. Black people today are asking and begging for reparations. That's a slave move. Black people should be demanding reparations. Demanding that you clear this debt that you owe. America keeps making the excuse that they don't have the money. Whose fault is that? You should have had the money. The world sees what America does for other people, and the world sees what America refused to do for black people. The reason America constantly denies anything that black people ask for is because in their minds, black people here in America are still their slaves. And I'm just really upset with us as a people because we have too many people amongst us that tap dance. Like I said, when I was 15 years old, and I was wise enough to see that some people were coming to destroy Juneteenth. Why can't other people see that? Because you have some white people today who want to claim that they want to help us out with it. They want to join hands and stand in solidarity, when all they're doing is watching and looking and figuring out a way to destroy whatever we try to start. If you have a black person within your organization that one day comes up with a white person that is claiming to want to help, get rid of that black person. Because that black person is naive and he is getting paid. Juneteenth is about freedom, which black people aren't. And Juneteenth is about getting this debt that is owed to us, which we have not. During slavery, they would give the slaves just one day off. While the slaves out there singing and dancing, the white people up there being entertained. The same thing with this Juneteenth celebration today. They're going to give everyone just one day off. While black people are singing, dancing, performing, white people stay in the background being entertained. So as I said, June 19th was supposed to be when the slaves were set free, but they wasn't set free. So if black people are not free, what is there to celebrate?